so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked. That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Clip Shot, the clipping audio shot, the Drop Shot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 91. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Back again with my Santa hat, with my red and what's the green lights.
Green. You had a trouble thinking of that color. Wow.
I've had a lot of trouble thinking in general this week, apparently, and my little Christmas tree, which you can see a little better because Tanner is too zoomed in on me, right? And I am joined, as always, by the host of the program this evening. Kind of. It's on his channel. He's not the host.
I'm
of
not.
Course.
Yeah.
By my good friend Tanner. Tanner, say hello to everyone. Also, let's make that floodlight from blue to green, yeah? Let's get festive in this.
Should we?
We should get festive.
It's probably going to look terrible, but we'll give it a shot.
For sure, but it'll be terrible but festive, dude.
Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Wait, let me see. I can't see it. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, I hate it.
It's not great.
It makes me mad. I'm changing it back.
Do it between. Do an aqua or a teal. Those are colors, right? There's some between.
Dude, I keep staring at it and blinding myself. Actually,
that's not
I
bad.
Can't see it right now, but yeah.
Anyways, what's up, dude?
Okay, what's up? How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
If we have one more intro with your shit mic sounding like that when you scream, I'm not doing a pod again until you fix it.
You're just gonna end the stream, yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out, or we won't. I don't know.
You won't, but yeah,
I won't. Of course, I'll subject you rats to my shit microphone quality. It's a Shure SM7B. It's an industry standard. So today is our Saturday edition of the program, and we are excited to get into it. I think we were originally going to do at this time kind of an opinion episode on season 1, but we're going to wait on that because we haven't played any Warzone yet. And the reasons for that are obvious. It was not a seamless transition at all. In fact, there was invisibility bugs. There's fucking shit attachments that have now been added, I guess. Now the stim glitch is back, which is both fun and exciting.
They fixed that today.
Well, they said they fixed it today, right?
Well, so Raven said it, not Infinity Ward, so I kind of believe them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyways, nonetheless, notwithstanding all of those things, we haven't tried it yet. So we're going to hold off on a season 1 analysis. We'll probably do that in like 2 weeks. Because I think next week shit's going to be kind of weird, but we'll get into it. So anyway, today we're gonna try and get caught up to the Cold War era of questions from the Discord. So today is going to be a Q&A stream. Make sure, of course, to join the fucking Discord. You can ask us whatever the flying fuck you want in the Q&A portion of the Discord.
Literally whatever you want. Believe me, you should see some of these questions.
You're going to hear some of these questions, which are, we'll get into it. But first, a couple announcements. Welcome to our new patrons. That's what the document says, but it's not plural. In fact, it's one patron. So welcome to a new patron, Hunter M. Now, Hunter, you are held in high regard this evening because if it weren't for you, we would not have done the podcast today, right? We would have held it hostage as a result of not having any new patrons. Now, I'm very tempted to do like half an episode today and just end the podcast in the middle of like us answering a question.
No
because
outro, nothing. Yeah.
No, of course, yeah, actually, or just hey, only announcements, and then just end the podcast. Just a 20-minute announcements only podcast. Very tempted to, because this, well, the intros have been getting a little long, but we'll see. I'm feeling festive, so I think we'll do a full episode. But for real, thank you, Hunter. Patreon.com/thedropshot for bonus episodes per month and more. See the fucking website. Also, a little more housekeeping here. On a serious note, the Damascus Hangout this Friday, which is the 25th of December, by the way, is fucking canceled. Because here at the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, this is, of course, a Christian program, a devout religious program.
Wrong.
Where we we live up to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's example each and every day. F's in the chat for Jesus. So on the 25th, this Friday, there will not be a Damascus Hangout, and we are not rescheduling it. You guys should go do things with your family that you haven't talked to in 9 months, right? So go do that.
Well, it's COVID. You shouldn't be suggesting that.
Well, hey, install Zoom and talk to fucking grandma before she... let's move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hangout this Friday is canceled, and we are not fucking rescheduling it. So suck my cock. How about that? Also,
if you want a refund, see Razinon.
Yeah, you can DM me. We'll see how that goes. Shigo Heart, thank you for the offline giftery doodad. These
get worse and worse every week. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, I gotta spice things up somehow.
Yeah.
I would also again like to thank all of you on a very serious note for the very generous outpouring of support we got last episode on this program. That was very, very kind. It meant a lot, and I just wanted to say thank you guys again. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I don't understand it because you guys are brain dead for all of the money you've wasted on this podcast about a video game. But for real, we really appreciate it, and it helps a lot. And again, in about a month, we're gonna have some really exciting announcements that will pertain to how helpful all this support is, especially right now, because we got a lot in the works. The money helps a lot, and we'll get more into that, as I said, around episode 100. So
for sure, get into that. Yeah.
So thank you guys for that. Tanner, any announcements from you before we do this last little here?
I can get to my chat real quick. Slippery Digit. Well, okay. Slippery Digit, 500 biddies. Let's go, dude. And Daddy Dingleberry, 100 biddies. He says, Raz killed my dog in September 2008 to quote, to learn what it feels like to take a life in game, of course. Okay. Thank you, boys. Also, instead of a reimbursement for the Damascus tier, because Lemur got scammed, she said, I'll take a holiday calendar of pics of you guys in almost no clothes. So I'm sure Raz would be happy to do that.
Okay.
He always,
Lemur.
of course, you guys know he talks about his
sure.
big fat white cock. So maybe you guys will finally see it.
So the problem, Lemur, is that as you can tell by the insane video quality that your eyes are blessed with this evening, I do have, of course, an extremely expensive camera with a ton of megapixels. But even this camera does not have enough megapixels to photograph my giant white cock. So unfortunately, that calendar just will not be possible.
Yeah.
But I will perhaps make an artist's rendition for you in some kind of supercomputer that can make a file that large. So
does your phone have panorama mode?
That's panoramic mode, right? I don't know. I don't care.
We can potentially
Let's not
get it on
belabor
there.
this shit joke any longer, right?
Could fit.
Let's fucking move. Let's for sure move on.
Okay.
Do you have any other announcements before we show this thing off here?
No.
Okay. So last announcement before we get into it. as we've been talking about, we are in the process of making a website, and it is coming along very nicely. And we have a little update for you, because part of this website is we're also getting a new logo, because our logo right now is fantastic. I mean, it's an exceptional logo.
Well,
it's exceptional. The problem is
average.
Activision may or may not have grounds to come after us with their considerable legal team, because the font for Call of Duty looks an awful lot like a trademarked font for Call of Duty.
It looks pretty close, yeah.
It's pretty close, and there might be a legal argument. Maybe Face Esquire can give us some legal counsel on that. But we're going to get a new logo so that we don't have to worry about that. So we have to show you our new logo. And we have 4 different editions. It's all the same logo, just kind of different colors, depending on what we're doing. So let us know what your guys' thoughts are on these logos. And if you remind us, I can post them in the Discord. But without further ado, let's bring up number 1, please. Tanner Dropshot. There we go.
There's
so this
item
is
number 1.
Item number 1. This is going to be like the logo, the main ass logo. And as you can see here, there's no copyright infringement. There's some dude who's actually prone, because in our current logo, I told the guy to make the dude prone, but he's not really prone. It just looks like he's fucking like bending over or something, and it makes me furious. So that's something. But anyways, this guy's actually prone. He is drop shotting, which is, of course, germane to the title of this this podcast about video game. And then if we can go to the next one here, Tanner, next slide, please.
Oh, it's basically the same thing.
It is.
The only difference is the.
Identical.
So we'll move on.
This is gonna be the one where the is changed is for a white background. But yeah, let's go to the next one. This is black and white, designed for a white background, and this one's gonna look really cool. But the last one is what I'm most excited to show you guys, because I think this is gonna look fucking dope on a black article of clothing.
Yeah.
Just black and white. That thing is fucking crispy, dude. That is a crispy logo, dude. So I'm very excited to do a lot of shit with these logos. Particularly new merch with different designs. We're going to make the Papa Shido edition hoodie. That is going to be a black hoodie. Maybe we'll do a white one as well. With this logo as a small kind of, logo on the front, instead of so super loud like our current hoodies are. So
yeah.
So anyways, we want to share that with you guys. We will put those in the Discord if you remind me to, and then I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on the new logo. It would mean a lot if you could share those things with us. So Tanner, go ahead and tell me what the fuck's going on here, and then we can get into the program.
So
and you are recording, by the way, right?
Oh fuck! Yeah, I'm recording, idiot bitch.
Okay.
You got scared for a second.
I didn't.
Okay, let's go back here a second. Biden cheated with a 1-bit. Last but certainly not least, our one and only handicap patron. Biden cheated. Okay. Well,
Wait, what?
I think he's saying he signed up for the Patreon. Thanks, dude.
Okay.
Somebody, hold on, I need to scroll back up to find it. Rizzle continuing their gifted sub from Chef. Let's go. Get scammed. 5 gifted subs. Let's fucking go. Thank you. Get scammed. Indeed. Get scammed.
Indeed.
Wonder where he got that name from. He got scammed one too many times. And then of course, Guinness guy comes in.
It's nice guy.
What?
I think it's nice guy.
It's Guinness.
Okay.
Guinness. I think it's just spelled dumb.
Either
Why would it
way,
be nice
spelled
guy?
dumb.
Why would it be nice guy?
Okay, because GN in the English language, the G is silent.
Okay.
Like Gnostic, like Knoll. Read a book,
Okay.
perhaps.
So
Let's move on.
Guinness guy 25 gifted subs. Let's go, baby.
Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate that. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't even think you've said anything yet. I don't think you've typed a word in this chat so far tonight. Maybe you did. I don't know. I was too busy doing that intro. But dude, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Seriously. You're insane, dude. Thank you. Merry Christmas to me, right? And Legacy and Almighty Moonrock. Well, Legacy with 245. Moonrock, 200 biddies. Let's fucking go. Thank you, boys. I appreciate that.
Hell fucking yeah, dude. Merry Christmas.
Fucking yeah.
indeed.
Well, I guess I can't keep moving yet. Hold on. One more. J-Web, 5 gifted subs. Let's go. Absolute Demon. J-Web is at 320 in this channel. Holy shit.
Fucking insane, dude.
Let's go, bro.
Absolutely mental.
Yep. And Moses, thank you for the 100. True King, thank you for the 1 bit. Thank you, boys. All right, we need to get moving on here. Really, really appreciate the support, everybody. We will get to these next ones.
Let's
as we get going here. Yeah, everyone relax.
Yeah, we do appreciate the support.
It's still the intro, right? Relax. Yeah. Podcast listeners are malding. People that have never been here live, they're malding. They're scrubbing forward. They're furious right now. So let's get moving. We'll get to this in a second. Thank you, boys. Seriously. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll keep moving for now. I'll get back to this in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, boys.
So
if you were, and your name is Miss True King. If I see King, I scan and I assume male. Okay. So Miss True King, sorry for misgendering you, and you should change it. Anyways, if you were listening but thank you for the support. We appreciate it. It was a bit, actually, so. If you're listening for the... Thanks. Here it is. All right. So, as I said in the intro, in the announcements, today we will be doing Q&A. Now, first, as always, we would be covering playlist updates. There are none since our last episode of the program. So we're good to slide on over to the next document and just fucking dive right in here. So, Tanner, you want to pull this bitch up? Let's pull away the fucking, or zoom in, whatever. God, so bad.
What do you mean?
A bad shit host.
What are you talking about, bro?
No, you're doing okay. I was gonna say great, but you're doing okay. This first one is from Almighty Moonrock, and this was November of this year. So we're catching up. We're getting close. Question is this: will the Dropshot boys rather have a new game every year or one every 2 years? I think we may, or I don't know if we've actually talked about this. So Tanner, what are your thoughts on this? Every year or every 2 years?
So it's ideal to get a new game every single year. We always get them though, at least for like the last, 4 or 5 games probably. They're just specifically probably the last 2 especially. Well, no, World War II is awful too. Yeah, probably the last 4 or 5. The games are just terrible on launch, right? The games are bad, almost unplayable for a while, actually. They're in usually a terrible position. Cold War right now is not great. I mean, we launched with, 6 multiplayer maps? Is that what it was?
Fucking insane, yeah.
Also, this was the year of COVID, so they don't really tell us what goes on behind the scenes, but we know it wasn't a normal year for anybody, so they kind of get a pass. If it was Infinity Ward, they wouldn't get any pass. I would say they're shit either way.
Yes.
But they get some sort of pass there. The thing is, though, if the cycle is every 2 years, wouldn't each development team still be working on their game the same amount of time? It's just once the game is out, they have more time to update and focus on their game?
Yeah.
Versus actually create it from the start?
So, yeah, here's the thing with me, Moonrock. Like, You have to remember Call of Duty's unique in that it is one franchise with 3 different, I mean, really like 5 or 6 different development teams, but let's just talk about primary development teams. There are 3. There is Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Infinity Ward's offices should be firebombed. In game, of course. They should not be a development team they shouldn't, no one who works at Infinity Ward should have a job. But let's move on. God, Modern Warfare was so bad. Oh. Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer are the 3 development teams. So if we're going to assume that they're going to keep having 3 primary development teams, then if they have a new game every year, that means each development team has 3 years to work on one game, which sounds about right. That sounds about like the industry standard. Like when you look at like Halo 2 and then Halo 3, I don't know, but those were probably about 3 years apart, give or take. And that's only one development team, Bungie. So if Bungie can do it and every other fucking development team on Earth can do it, then so can Infinity Ward and Treyarch and Sledgehammer. If we went to every 2 years and we kept 3 development teams, we would be giving each development team 6 years to work on a game, which might be fine, but they don't need that much time. I would much rather have a game every year than every 2, because if Infinity Ward can't figure out how to make enemy players in my first-person shooter video game visible in 3 fucking years, they're not going to figure it out in 6. It's just not going to happen. So I think the increase in quality would be minimal if we went to a new game every 2 years. And also, by the way, if there was a bad game that came out, a bad Call of Duty game, we would be stuck with it for 2 years instead of 1. I would have contracted coronavirus on purpose if I had to play Modern Warfare 2019 for another year. I would have done it in a video game, of course. I'm not sure I could joke about that. I would be fucking furious. So I'm thrilled that there's a new game every year, so that when there's a fucking shit show like MW 2019, I don't have to suffer through it for 2 years. I can only suffer through it for one. So I would rather them be every year. And if it was every 2, I don't think it would really change the quality of the games, in my view.
Also, I feel like as Call of Duty players, either way, if the game is boring or pretty fun, by like April, May, we're already like ready for the next game. Like even if it's a pretty good game, I feel like the average player is like, damn, like, wonder what the next Call of Duty is going to be. I'm excited for that. I mean, we were excited months in advance.
True.
So
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yep, agreed. So, anyways, let's move on here. Thank you, Moonrock, for it's a good question, but I feel like a lot of people don't really think about the fact that there are 3 dev teams for this game. Because if it was just one dev team, I would totally agree with you, but it's not. So, let's move on here. Next one. Senti 420. Change it. What brand new multiplayer game mode would you introduce to the Call of Duty franchise? I think we've already answered this.
None.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I don't know if it was a direct question like this, but hey, let's make the game good. Let's not get fancy. Domination, hardpoint, assault, these things are fine. I don't need a new game mode. I need your guns to work and your hit reg to work and better maps.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we don't care about game modes. Yeah, we'd rather, instead of somebody wasting their time thinking of a game mode, creating the game mode, coding all that in, working out the bugs, which they don't anyways, but working out the bugs, like, I'd rather them just take that time they spent and put that towards designing a map or something. We don't need more. There's literally more than enough game modes. I don't want any more. So,
yeah.
Stop.
Agreed.
Stop with the game modes.
1,000%. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. Yeah, we have enough good ones. So, anyway, let's move on here.
Yep.
Next one is from Tyler08, the drop child, one of the 2. Okay, this is a childish question. What were your initial reactions to finding out that myself and Bjorn are 12-year-olds and a part of this small but vibrant and extremely humble community? First of all, I'd like to say that if a 12-year-old can remember the phrase small but vibrant and extremely humble community, the co-host of the program has no excuse. But anyways, let's move on here.
Oh, you got mine for sure.
Well, you're an alcoholic, so you don't remember much of anything.
Correct.
But what are your thoughts?
To be honest, you can't tell they're 12 from when they type most things. Like if they didn't say that, okay. You're just saying that now because of the way they say things.
Well, he spelled offended with an A, so there's something fishy going on.
When did you do that?
I cried laughing, by the way.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Let this be known, our Discord is 18 plus. He lied about his age.
They both did, yeah.
We're not going to kick him out, of course. Are they learning very bad things in our Discord at a very young age that's possibly going to ruin their future? There's a good chance, yes. But I mean, hey, he lied about his age. What am I going to do about it? I don't care. So, I actually thought they were both lying when they said they were 12, to be honest. I'm like, oh, 12 is just a dumb number that every kid's like, oh, you're 12. It just sounds like a age that you make fun of, like, oh, this dumb 12-year-old. So I thought that's why they said it. I don't know. I just figured they were like 15 or 16 maybe, but they're 12. I need to meet a 12-year-old in real life now to see how little they are. Cause like, I don't know what a 12-year-old looks like. Let's go meet
12-year-old.
Let's go meet up with one, right?
I have to go. Someone clip it, dude. Clip it and ship it.
Okay. If anyone knows a 12-year-old in our area, let us know, right? Let us know.
If anyone knows where can I meet 12-year-olds? I want to meet some 12-year-olds, dude. What a fucking idiot.
Okay, well,
you said that totally unironically too.
Well,
that's the best part.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's great.
Yeah, 18 plus for me. Female, of course. My wife, of course. So that's where we're at.
Married, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, Tyler. I don't really give a shit. I don't know. When I was 12 on the internet, I was in. Excuse me. I was in Ventrilos. You guys don't know what that is because you're 12-year-olds. Of people like older and shit, and I don't know. I think people in general are pretty cool. Our Discord's pretty cool. We're not going to censor ourselves. We're still going to talk about 8 balls and how much they cost, and Australia versus the Western United States in a video game, of course, because we don't discuss illegal activity, obviously. But you know, no one's like, we're all being pretty cool with you, and I don't know. I don't really actually care. I respect that a 12-year-old even knows what this podcast is, to be honest with you. I don't know how you guys found this podcast, because we don't market to children.
No.
Well, we market to Call of Duty players. So maybe we do market to children, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting to say. I don't know. But I don't give a shit, dude. I don't know. You guys are fine.
Again, if you're 12 and in our area, let us know. We'd like to see how a 12-year-old is. So.
That's okay. Let's for sure fucking move on to a next one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do I sound all right?
Yeah, you sound great.
Normal?
You sound like shit, but you sound normal, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Good. This one's from Dominator. Okay.
Why is it spelled like that?
Because he's being clever. I don't know. I've been an Xbox gamer almost my entire life. After hearing the award-winning smash hit
True.
Dropshot Call of Duty podcast episode, A Console is a Computer, and with the release of yet another Xbox, I decided to go to PC. My question is, how do you guys feel about using a controller on PC? Can it be as good, or is there no chance? I personally can't imagine clicking is as fun and exciting as pulling an actual trigger in all my shooter games over the years on Xbox. It's actually an interesting perspective when you frame it that way. Also, would it actually be a bonus since Cold War aim assist is clearly insane? Okay, so I think you've confused what we've said, but Tanner, what are your thoughts?
Well, hold on a second. I'm trying to figure this out because he's saying, how do you guys feel about using a controller on PC? But then he says, I can't imagine clicking is as fun and exciting as pulling an actual trigger.
I think that he is under the impression that our opinion is that using a keyboard and mouse is
like more rewarding.
No. Yes, and that it actually is better. Like he thinks that we think that keyboard and mouse is both more rewarding and like more advantageous than using aim assist, also known as a controller. Whereas in reality, we do think it's more rewarding. We don't think it's more advantageous. We think it's often less. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting, but I'm not sure. I had a better question, but
I think this question doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But how do you guys feel about using a controller on PC? If you're using a controller on PC in Cold War, you have the ultimate advantage, I think. You're getting high frame rate. We can't talk about the field of view anymore. You're getting high frame rate, high refresh rate. Everything's just running smooth, and you have a controller, which is absurd in Cold War and literal aimbot. So I think that's the best of both worlds right now. That's about as good as you can get. I mean, people say these new consoles are 120 frames. Are they actually getting 120 frames? I mean, is that what they're getting constantly? Because I doubt it.
I want to talk to someone about that because I actually don't know.
I really doubt it.
Almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's up to 120 frames.
Exactly. It's probably average.
I mean, all of them do
90.
say it's a lot smoother, but anything over 70 or anything over like 50 or 60 is going to feel a lot better to them, right?
Of course, yeah. You can't get less smooth than fucking 60s.
Yes, a controller can be as good. It's actually better in Cold War multiplayer than a mouse and keyboard, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not about pulling the trigger and clicking. It's just I feel like mouse and keyboard is more rewarding because there's nothing like sliding your keyboard or sliding your mouse to the opposite side of your mouse pad and getting like a nutty flick on somebody. That takes all skill to do. Sometimes luck comes into that, but there's a lot of skill involved in that versus I think using an analog stick, pushing it over, getting close to their body, and then having it lock on and kill the person with auto aim,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think mouse and keyboard will always feel more rewarding. I know. I don't know. I think if controller players give it a shot, they'll realize it's a lot more rewarding and fun to use. But I'm never going to go back and use a controller because I think this is the more rewarding and fun way. So I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Agreed. So, okay. How do you guys feel about using a controller on PC? Now, I'm glad you've asked, Dominator, because yesterday or 2 days ago, I constructed a handy graph for the visual learners who are a part of our community to illustrate this point. So, Tanner, if you could go ahead and pull up this graph that I've conveniently linked in the notes here and just put this on the screen so I can talk everyone through it.
Okay. I'm going to go PoE, talk everyone through this, and get another drink, of course.
Okay. So, I made this graph in Microsoft Paint, and it is an illustration of the inherent advantages and disadvantages of a controller versus a mouse as your input method for Call of Duty. Now, on the y-axis, we have advantage. Okay? So the higher on the y-axis you go, the more of an advantage you have. And on the x-axis, we have distance, as in how far away the enemy you're shooting at is. Okay. Now, for the controller, for aim assist, at very low distance, the advantage is also low because aim assist does not really help you at all if someone's right in front of you, because if they take up your whole screen, you don't need aim assist anyway. Just pull your trigger. They're right in front of you. But as the distance increases, as we travel on the x-axis, we're also going to be ascending the y-axis, which is the advantage. And of course, if you guys are only listening, you might be thinking, I wish I could see this graph. Hey, you can. YouTube.com/Razinon. We have video episodes of the program, and you could see the graph, which we have pulled up now. So as you get farther away from your enemy, your advantage as a controller user goes up because you have aim assist, and a machine can track an enemy perfectly at all ranges at all times. They don't have problems maintaining that aim. They don't have problems seeing that person. They don't have problems with recoil control because it is literally an aimbot. It's just a soft aimbot. That's what aim assist is. We're not saying controllers shouldn't have aim assist, but that is what it is. Now, on the other hand, with a mouse, the line has an exactly inverse relationship to the controller. So at very low distance, if you're on a mouse, your advantage is very high because you can instantly turn any direction you want with no slowdown, and you're only really limited by your own settings if you're dumb. So there's actually really no limitation. So if I crowd someone and I'm on keyboard and mouse, which of course I am, and they're on a controller, if I can just like get behind them, they're not going to be able to turn their dumb joystick by the time I fucking snap around and just throw my mouse across my desk and I'm aimed at them from behind them, fucking their ass. So the advantage for the mouse versus the controller is exceedingly high at very close ranges where aim assist doesn't help you and it doesn't matter. And in fact, rotational speed or capacity for fast rotation is where the advantage will lie. And then again, as we travel along the x-axis in the distance, going farther and farther away, the advantage of a mouse goes lower and lower because we don't have aim assist. So we do have trouble seeing people. We do have to actually control our own recoil, etc. And you can't just aim at one pixel like you can if you're on a machine. So that is the advantage of a controller versus a keyboard and mouse. It depends on what game mode you're playing. So for sixes, probably about even sometimes. There's other little minutia to get into, which I'm not going to because we've belabored this point many times before. But controller on PC is probably the best of both worlds, especially on Cold War, because the aim assist is very strong in Cold War, much stronger than it was in Modern Warfare. And in Warzone 2, I think being on a controller is really good because having aim assist in Warzone at those really long distances, again, is super advantageous, much better than a mouse. As for the personal satisfaction, there are many people I've talked to who switched from controller to mouse that say it's infinitely more rewarding on mouse because you don't have the aim assist and you have to do everything yourself. And there's some intrinsic reward you get from that you can't really get on a controller. Fizz is a really good PC streamer. He used to play on controller. He said the same thing. That's why he switched to keyboard and mouse. Jake Down, our very own Jake Down, a member of this program, longtime listener and friend of the pod, has said the same thing, and I'm sure there are others. So, it's more rewarding, but it's also way more difficult. So if you're used to playing on controller, I mean, it's up to you.
One of the EXE guys switched from controller, and he was like really good immediately too. I don't remember what his name is, but he is one of those guys too. That
Raidon?
No, it's not Raid. He may have, but he's not the one I'm thinking of.
Interesting.
I don't know, but yeah, there's some. It's more rewarding.
Yeah, agreed. So, anyways, let's move on here. Good
let
question,
me
Bob.
hold on. Let me get to my.
Yeah, I'm gonna
here.
go pee while you do this.
Okay.
If you want to do the first question.
All right, boys. Sorry for making you hold on this long. Daddy Dingleberry, 145 bits. Smooch with the gifted sub. Biden cheated 69 with 100 biddies. Let's fucking go. Thank you, boys. I appreciate that. Then Mullet just came in. He says, no, I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what you guys do. I'm going to drop 50 gifted subs. Let's go, Mullet. 260 in this channel. Let's go, baby. Really appreciate that, Mullet. You are a godsend to this channel, to Razinon's channel. We love the support, dude. Really appreciate it. Long-time listener, long-time supporter. Yeah, we love it, dude. Really, really appreciate it. It all helps a lot. Thank you, dude. Let's see what else we got here. Miss True King has cheered 4 bits. She really wants to see Raz's sleeve. Well, since you keep cheering 1 bit at a time, I'll consider it, but probably not. Evan, thank you for the gifted subs to Dad Tactical. Let's go. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate that, dude. And Camper with the tier 1, 4-month streak. Tanner, I heard you're getting a divorce. Well, thanks for the tier 1, dude. I don't think I'm getting a divorce unless you know something I don't. I don't know.
Well,
you fucking my wife behind her back or what?
Boys, so.
Yeah. Tanner, I listen to the pod every day. I believe what you're saying about the aim assist. I listen to the pod every day. What's up, dude? Appreciate you stopping by. First time viewer on Twitch. Thanks, brother. Breaking news. Evan is also saying the stim glitch is back. So there we have it, boys. The stim glitch is back. You heard it here first.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Fucking shit.
Yeah.
Company.
Rezprez with a gifty boy. Let's go, dude. To Cody. I appreciate that. Rez King Camper, I was just kidding. Well, we were talking about 12-year-old boys, so if she was listening, we may be filing for divorce. We'll see. All right, so let's move on here.
Okay. Next one.
Hold on, real quick. So says Whistle Pig is made here in Vermont. Yeah, I'm gonna get Whistle Pig. It's on my list. Join the fucking Discord. You would know that. It's on the list for sure. A lot of people recommended that one.
Absolutely.
I will be purchasing that. Thank you, dude. All right, let's go.
Cool. Let's move on. Drizzle. Y04. Change it. What other games do you play, or do you just suck the cock of Call of Duty? Also, what company, in your opinion, makes the best or most worth your dollar CPU? I'm going to assume that's processor and not computer in the layman's sense.
Yeah.
Tanner, your thoughts?
What other games do I play besides Call of Duty? None, unfortunately.
Cyberpunk?
Once and if we go full time, we'll get into it here soon. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/the Dropshot. Sub to me, twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot, twitch.tv/Razinon. Yeah. Well, so if we ever go, once we go full time, we'll probably have more time to play other games. But the last game I played was Cyberpunk. I played it for an hour and a half, and then I was like, oh, you know what? This is a huge single player game. I'm never going to have time to play this. I'm not going to have the time to appreciate it. So I'm just going to refund it. So I refunded it. And now I know a bunch of people are talking shit about the game. It ran fine for me. It seems like it's probably a decent game, honestly. I know our friend Gabriel Sol Perez is playing it. He loves it. I think
plays the fuck.
I think just kind of the cool thing to do right now is like, oh, I'm refunding Cyberpunk. Mine was just like, you know what? I'm not going to have time to finish this game. So Steam will guarantee giving my $60 back. I don't have time to play the story mode. So I'll just take the money back for now. I'll maybe play it again in the future at some point after they do updates months down the line. But I don't think it was that bad of a game. Well, I hardly tried it. But I think just the cool thing to do right now is shit on Cyberpunk since it was so hyped up. So. But other than that, I don't really play any other games now. I'm trying. I think the last different game besides Call of Duty I played was Rocket League. Played that for fun, and I haven't even done that in a month or so.
We'll edit that out for sure.
That's been edited out already. Yeah.
Yeah.
What company, in your opinion, makes the best or most worth your dollar CPU?
This is
if it was
ambiguously Ryzen, isn't it?
If this question was asked like 6 months ago, it was 100% Ryzen, but the new Ryzen processors are not cheap anymore. They're like Intel pricing. Granted, they are better than the current Intel gen, but their prices are even higher. Like the one I want to buy, because I don't want to have to worry about buying a new CPU for like 3 or 4 years, is $800. So it's pretty expensive. And the one that lines up with the 10900K is the same exact price. Granted, it is a little bit better performance. So I don't know. Everyone always says all around Ryzen gives you the best performance, but I mean, I only play Call of Duty. Realistically, if you're only playing Call of Duty, you're probably just better off with an Intel processor. Because Ryzen is better at other things and maybe other games, but Call of Duty, it's kind of like how NVIDIA like is partnered with Activision, and their cards work a lot better for Call of Duty than AMD cards do. It's kind of like one of those things. So if I went back and did it all over again, I may have just gotten a 10900K, but my build would have been delayed like 2 months because they were impossible to find. So
Yeah.
plus I'll just upgrade to the next Ryzen once I find one. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty even right now.
Yeah.
So Raz, what are your thoughts?
Okay. So what other games do you play? Or do you just suck the cock of Call of Duty? So my gaming history is like all RPGs. I'm a huge RPG like nerd. Like that's my. I would say even still that is like my. It's probably one of my favorite genres of games. I really enjoy RPGs. I'm insanely good at them.
Well,
because my brain is fucking huge, right? So I really like RPGs, but do I play other games? Of course not. I work fucking 70 hours a week. I don't have time to play other games. Like I just can't do it. So right now I'm just on Call of Duty, but I really do enjoy RPGs. I shouldn't say that because I did have like a little, every like 2 years, every United States citizen or citizen of a Western democracy really should replay The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, which is of course what I did. I fulfilled my obligation to humanity and replayed that, and I've been doing that since it came out every 2 years or so.
If you're gonna go back and
play it
replay a game, replay Red Dead Redemption 2. But continue.
Okay, well, Skyrim's better, but yeah. So I like RPGs a lot.
Yourself.
Okay, and what other game did I enjoy? Yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. I mean, I used to really like Halo, but I went back and played Halo, and I actually don't like the picking up weapon kind of thing, because then once you want to get really good, what that actually means is like memorizing all the spawns of the fucking rocket launcher and like camping it and then like using it. I don't know. I don't like that much. But I used to really like Halo as a boy.
I've never been a big Halo fan. It was just, I always thought it was way too basic of a game. What is going on? Why are you frozen? Are you here? Okay, so Raz's internet went out, I guess. Can you guys still hear me? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Can chat hear me? Are you guys seeing this? Okay, so you guys can hear me, so it's on Raz's end. So let's, okay. So let me write down this time so he knows, because we are definitely frozen. Frozen. Okay, so his internet must have went out. We'll see here in a minute, boys. Okay, he wants me to do a be right back screen. Okay, let me switch it to a be right back screen. Okay, boys, yeah, he already hit me up. Hopefully his internet goes right back on. It very well could be his shit Spectrum internet, which goes out often, so we'll see. Al, thank you for the tier 1, dude. 6 months in a row, baby. God, it's actually crazy. I'm just gonna put the cam back on because he knows. Here, let's just do that one because he knows. I already sent him the time. Dude, it's actually crazy that I started streaming like 8 months ago. Fuck. Time goes by fast, boys. You always hear people say that, but it actually goes by super fast. It's somewhat depressing for sure, but yeah. Tanner thought Raz made that dumb face when he finished making his point. Yeah, well, he's a piece of shit, so. He was killed by the Clintons. He could have been, yeah. He said a lot of TOS things on this channel that disagree with him. That's my stash. This webcam looks nice, huh, guys? This is the new Brio that Raz got me. Definitely better quality. It looks better now than it did on Wednesday with Grid Fam. It looks better when I host it.
Tanner?
What's up?
Okay. Hear me?
Yeah, call back in when you get a chance.
It says I'm in. Do you not see me?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, let me pull the screen up.
Fuck.
Here we go. Cool. We're good.
Okay, so where did I leave off?
Oh, I think you stopped. You were talking about Halo, and then I started saying I always thought Halo was a really basic, overhyped game, and I don't think you heard that part.
Okay. So, sorry, my internet cut out, boys, but we're back. So yeah, Halo I really liked, but now when I went back and played it, it's a lot about map control and just spawn camping like the rocket launcher and the fucking grav hammer and shit.
Yeah, because they spawn in one spot, right?
Exactly, yeah. And there's no loadout system, or it's an unsophisticated one. So I'm not like a huge Halo fan anymore, but I used to be when I was a kid. And then with respect to most worth your dollar processor, CPU, I think Tanner kind of nailed it. It depends. Like, they're both pretty fucking comparable, both in terms of performance and price. Intel's better at certain things. Ryzen's better at other things. It would depend on what you are going to use your computer for. So, like Ryzen in general, they have more threads. So they're better at like...
More cores too, yeah.
And more cores. So they're better at like multitasking. So if you'd like to have 30 Google Chrome tabs open, plus, iTunes and fucking your video game and Spotify or whatever, Ryzen might be better. For purely in-game performance, I still think the 10900K is best for probably the majority of video games. That's certainly true for Call of Duty, but probably not every video game. But they're both pretty comparable. So
yeah,
I'm not qualified to answer this. And it's, again, the main thing is it depends on what you're going to do, Also,
people who argue over that shit, you're dumb. Like, people actually argue over, like, oh, this is so much better. Like, why would you waste your money on an Intel CPU? Or, oh, why would you waste your money on a Ryzen CPU? You're fucking dumb, right? You're an idiot. They're both good. Just pick one. Pick whatever's in stock. You're not going to be able to find the new... If you're listening to this right now, you're not going to be able to find the new Ryzen series. So get a 10900K or a 10700K if you can find one.
Yeah, one of them isn't just better than the other one. It just depends. They both do different things.
I mean, guys with the 10900K and 3090 are getting literally 400 plus frames in Cold War multiplayer. So there you go. Just get that at 1080p.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, let's move on here.
What are we on here? Here we go.
All right. Pralimos. Don't change it, actually. I kind of like the name. Pralimos? It's fine. What are your guys' thoughts on the COD Call of Duty League considering a transfer from controller to keyboard and mouse in the near future for college, amateur, and pro tournaments? They're considering that? Because this is news to me. I didn't know they were considering that, but interesting. Also, what are your thoughts on Optic Scumps' response to the input switch, in which he said keyboard and mouse just simply can't keep up with the in-game movement achieved by using a controller? As a college-level COD player, okay, I have to stop. Don't ever say college-level COD.
Hold on, timeout.
Like you're a D2
Hold on,
football player.
Timeout. Some kid followed me on Twitter a while ago. This is probably him. And his college actually has like an amateur Call of Duty team, and they have like college jerseys that are made, and it's through the college. This may be the guy. Because usually when people follow me, I go to their profile and look at who they are. And I saw that. And it was like Call of Duty player 4. And it was I can't think of what the college name was, but it was like a known college in like a completely other state. And I knew what the college was.
Interesting.
So that is a thing that's apparently happening. I mean, it sounds dumb now, but in 3 years, that's probably going to be normal. 3 to 5 years. That's going to be normal.
Maybe. But just because your college has a Call of Duty team does not mean there's such a thing as a college level Call of Duty player.
Look, he's here right now. What are the odds? He's here right now.
Okay. What's up? Pralimos or Pralimos or Pralimos? Let us know how to pronounce your name. I don't hate it, but I wish it was easier to pronounce. or easier to tell how to pronounce it. But yeah, don't say college level Call of Duty player. Okay. There's no, because when you say college level football player, there's an understanding of what that means, because every college has a football team. Not every college has a Call of Duty team, right? I'm being a cunt, and it's a joke. So let's all, I'm always a cunt, but let's relax. I'm mostly joking. Who is used, so as a college level COD player who has used keyboard and mouse up until I started playing for my school, I really hope they decide to switch. Also, I think Scump's statement is absolutely BS. Would love to hear your input. This is a great question, and I think you're going to be kind of surprised by my answer, at least. But Tanner, what are your thoughts?
Interesting. So my initial thought is that a really good PC player's movement is better than a really good console player. But I do feel like, because of the way all their buttons are so close together and everything they can press is so close together, and like they can be pushing forward on one thing and just tapping down on the same analog stick and sliding, that probably like the best controller movement is better than the best keyboard and mouse movement. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, I like to think my movement is pretty decent, but when you watch these CDL kids, their movement actually is pretty insane. I'm not usually too impressed with their aim because it's a controller, but their movement actually is usually very good, surprisingly. And I think that's what really makes these pro players good, is like, you have aim assist, so you have the same thing a bunch of other players have. I mean, you still have to aim, right? But you don't have to be perfect every single time. Okay, yeah, I was trying to be nice. You know, so you don't have to aim, right?
That's a joke.
You don't have to aim. Kids are molding. We're getting posts in the Discord right now.
Balding.
Somebody already paused this episode before I even said this right now, and they're posting in the Discord about this. So we know who it is. I'm not going to say the name. But anyways, I don't remember what I was saying, but a lot of these CDL kids do have insane movement, and I think that's what sets them apart, is their movement and their game sense. Who has used keyboard and mouse until I really hope they decide to switch. I really hope they decide to switch to keyboard and mouse too. I think that'd be way more fun to watch, and I don't think the average controller player realizes that. Go watch one of these insane PC players' channels, like the Gaming Definition TV. He was in my chat earlier, by the way. He subbed to this channel.
Friend of the pod.
He's a friend of the pod.
He's an absolute friend of the pod.
He's a demon. Go watch his streams. Go watch Syrian stream. Well, he doesn't stream right now. Go watch Nate Gibson stream. He plays Warzone. I don't know who plays Black Ops multiplayer at this point.
Cold War.
How about Fizz? Fizz is good. Erase.
Fizz is really good.
Yeah. Look at Team EXE on Twitter. A lot of them still play Cold War multiplayer. Watch them play, and you'll realize it's way more exciting and rewarding to see them getting kills versus any pro CDL player. I don't care who it is. It's like people who are like, oh, Scump has the best aim in the game. Go fuck yourself. Most of his aim is done through a controller. He wouldn't do that on keyboard and mouse. I've said in the past, these kids that are really good on controller are usually very good at keyboard and mouse too. So hey, just switch to keyboard and mouse. Stop using a fucking controller, you rat, right? Absolutely. Switch it up.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay. Yeah. Oh, no. I'm done, actually.
Okay. So, it's funny you mentioned Fizz, Tanner, because he totally opened my eyes on this. Because he said, if you're on a controller, you can move way better than you can on keyboard and mouse. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he explained it. So think about it this way. W, A, S, and D are the movement keys you have, right? So you can press W to go forward, S to go backward. So there's 4 degrees of movement without aiming your reticle, without like rotating, right? And then you can press W and A at the same time. And then you can press W and D at the same time, S and A and S and D. So you have 8 directions you can go that are separated by 45 degrees. If you're using a joystick, you can move in 360 directions without turning your character at all. Whereas on keyboard and mouse, or on keyboard, you can only move 8 without turning your character. So technically speaking, it is literally impossible on a keyboard to have as precise of movement as a controller has because they have a joystick. I can't move between 90 degrees and 135 on a keyboard. It's impossible. I can't do a 120 degree movement to my right. It's not possible. But on a joystick, you can. So I think that's probably what Scump meant. This is literally true. It's not even like an opinion. That's how a joystick works. It's 360 degrees of movement. Now, however, is that important? Not really, honestly. I think that is an advantage of moving on a controller. And it is worth noting, and it's an interesting thing to say. And Fizz played on a controller quite recently and then switched to keyboard, and he's very good on both. And this is what he was saying, and I agree with him. And there's nothing to disagree with that because it's a fact. So that's something worth noting, but I don't think it's terribly impactful. I could be wrong. I don't see how it could be, though. So I agree with Scump there. What was the next thing here? I also really hope they decide to switch for sure. Because just like Tanner was saying, controller, you might be able to move at 119 degrees to your right, and you can't do that on a fucking keyboard and mouse without rotating. Obviously, you can move in any direction if you move your mouse, but that's not the point. But even if you're on 20 sensitivity, you can't snap like TGD can on a controller. It's not possible. Again, here's another fact. It's literally impossible.
Yeah.
It's literally like physically impossible to do it on a controller, even at max sense. Whereas if you're TGD, you're looking over here, there's a dude fucking 170 degrees away, and you just instantly like, boop, dead. You can't do it on a controller. So if you're insane on keyboard and mouse, and if you're in the CDL on a keyboard and mouse league, they would all be insane. This would translate to such a better spectator sport, which is what Tanner's point was a couple months ago when we talked about this.
A long time
He was like,
ago.
a long time ago. It would be so much more fun to watch. Irrespective of your input method as a player yourself, it's more fun to watch people play on keyboard and mouse because you see the disgusting sweeps they can do. So you would be gaining that excitement as a spectator. And the only thing you would be losing is the ability to move at 119 degrees, which no one from a spectator perspective gives a shit about. So I agree with you 1,000%. I think it would be much more interesting for CDL to go to keyboard and mouse. It would be a way better spectator sport. It would be way more fun to watch. And you'd see some really fucking insanely talented 19-year-old, Ritalin
Phenom
addicts.
Yeah.
Parachuting Adderall, snorting G Fuel, and just dunking on people. And that would be really fun to watch. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. I hope they switch for sure.
And like I've said, like Call of Duty 4 competitive, oh my God, it was so exciting to watch. Like these PC players, keyboard and mouse, obviously, because you couldn't even hook a controller up to a PC back then, would fly to Europe for like a $10,000 total prize pool. First place team would take home like $6,000 or something like that. $6,000. They would fly to Europe for that from the United States.
Yeah.
So it was so exciting to watch. Like I always watch, if you guys ever get a chance, go on YouTube and search like Team Pandemic Antwerp 2008. And that was like the Call of Duty 4 championship when this team from the USA, who was a complete underdog against these European teams, flew out to Europe and just won the tournament when they were ranked like number 9 going into it. It's a really cool video. It shows like behind the scenes and shit. But it's like things like that. It was so much more exciting and hype to watch on keyboard and mouse. And I'd really just missed that. Like I'm sorry, but I see these clips of these guys getting kills with a controller and like, oh, I'm cracked. And I'm just like, no, you're not. Don't ever post a clip publicly for me to accidentally see it again. Because I don't want to see it. Like, seriously, please don't. Just stop. I don't care.
And what
it's not exciting.
It's not exciting. And I want to be clear here. Tanner's not saying that CDL pros are not talented. obviously they're very talented.
Extremely.
Their talent is in awareness, positioning, tactics, and to some degree aim. But if you're playing on keyboard and mouse, the delta between the best and worst Call of Duty player in CDL, if everyone's keyboard and mouse, is going to be like 400%. Whereas on controller, everyone in the CDL on a controller aims the same. Because they're all good enough on a controller to where they're pretty much all going to make the same shots and they're all going to miss the same shots.
Yeah.
The only exception is sniping. I think there is an argument to be made that some people on a controller, even in the CDL, can snipe really well and others can't snipe as well. I would grant that 100
Because there's
times
very
out of
little
100.
aim assist. There's aim assist in Cold War, but very little.
Yes. And then in like MW, there was none. So like sniping on a controller is its own unique skill. And I don't think that's shared amongst all the Call of Duty or the CDL players. But like every person who uses an SMG or an AR in the CDL, they're all good enough to where they're all never going to miss a shot. Like just straight up.
Mm.
Whereas if we went to keyboard and mouse, we would see that become a new dimension. So
that's what's disappointing is like what Raz saying. I know these guys are very talented because I know a lot of them play other games besides Call of Duty on keyboard and mouse, and they're cracked. And it always makes me think, it's like, dude, it's so unfortunate that these kids, I'm calling them kids because most of them are 19 and 20. They're younger than me,
kids.
So they're children.
Yes.
It's like they're very talented, and it's a shame that their talent is capped by using a controller. Because with mouse and keyboard, your talent is almost unlimited. With a controller, there's a definitive gap or a cap to your skill level. Like you can't get better than a certain amount because you're on a controller. It's literally impossible. We're on a keyboard and mouse. You can Jesus Christ, I've had way too much to drink. The skill ceiling is a lot higher. So
and
it'd be way
skill
more exciting.
Floor too. Yes.
I do think it will switch to keyboard and mouse. Again, we talked about this like way before this was announced. And I kind of predicted this happening.
Yeah,
but I switching to PC on controller, not surprising. Keyboard and mouse, I can see them doing, probably not for like 3 to 5 years though, unfortunately. But I would love to watch that. Like, I still go back sometimes and watch these Call of Duty 4 frag videos of these pro tournaments. They're so exciting to watch, dude. Okay, well, kill yourself.
In a video game, of course.
In a video game, yeah.
Yeah. By the last thing I'll say on this is, Prawl, if you could send us the link to where they said they're considering transferring to keyboard and mouse, I would love to see that. Because I have not seen anything mentioning that the CDL is considering keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I would hope so. But
I would love to see a link to that. If you could provide one, I would appreciate it. And by the way, this was a very good question.
Yeah, great questions, dude.
That was a great question.
The next one isn't even really a question that he said. It was just a little note.
Oh, sorry.
So.
I should have added this. To add an extra note, the tournament that we have in 2 days has yet to apply an input lock. Usually they have that figured out weeks in advance. Interesting to see where this will go. That's interesting, Prawl. I would be curious.
2 days in advance.
If you can use whatever input method you want in these like college tournaments, I wonder what input method the best teams are using. Let us know about that as well. That's very interesting. But anyways, let's move on. Cambo. Or actually, do you have anything to get to, or should we move on, TDS?
I don't remember where I left off. I don't think I got to this. James with a tier 1. Let's go, dude. And Biden cheated with the 100, 1, 2, 3. Well, don't stop giving me 1 bits at a time. But 106 bits. Let's go. Thank you, dude. Never do that again, though. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll ban you. Okay. Yeah, thank you, boys. A lot of support in TDS's channel tonight. Very festive. And we appreciate it. So this next one is from Cambo, which is a fine name, but your avatar makes me super mad. You fucking weeb. So let's change that. Do you guys feel like the movement in Cold War is a little more clunky than Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year edition, Tanner?
I thought it was clunkier at first, but obviously now I'm completely used to it. And now going back to Modern Warfare feels weird. It feels like there's like a slide delay or something. This game, you slide a lot further in Cold War. I did think it was a lot clunkier in the beta, so it probably got a little bit better. Things are a little bit smoother. Also in the beta, you slid 12 feet. Now you slide about 6, which is still entirely too much.
Strong disagree.
But they definitely...
I'd like to slide 36 if I could, but...
Well, it'd break aim assist lock at least.
It probably would.
It would just make it stronger, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, do you think the movement is a little more clunky? We'll leave it at this. When I started playing Modern Warfare, I thought the movement was fantastic. When I first played Cold War, I thought the movement was very clunky and that Modern Warfare was smoother. So when I look at them that way, probably Modern Warfare is a smoother game. It just feels a little bit slower now, I think is more what it is. But yeah, not much to say about that.
Yeah. Okay. So my opinion on this is probably different than like pretty much everyone listening. I feel like the movement in MW was pretty fucking smooth. It worked like well, and it was smooth and reliable. The movement in Cold War is also smooth and reliable. Neither of them feel clunky to me at all. The caveat here is that the mantling system in Cold War is fucking dog shit. And it's terrible. And Miss True King, I've shown the sleeve twice now, right? So
yeah,
if you're
fucking watch the pod.
Drunk to fucking catch it, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. Hey, rewind, bitch. Rewind. I'll say it to you. I'll say it to your man. Hey, bitches, rewind the program and you'll see the fucking sleeve. It's a tattoo. Who cares? We've all seen tattoos. I'm a millennial narcissist, white West Coast liberal elite who has a tattoo. This isn't something special. Okay. Let's move. It is an excellent piece of artwork though, but let's move on. Yeah, the movement feels perfectly smooth in both Cold War and MW. They're very different. Cold War's movement is unambiguously better because it's faster, which allows for a wider skill gap, which is, of course, what I'm in favor of because I want good players to be rewarded for being good. So the movement I like better in Cold War, but neither of them feel at all. They both feel 0% clunky to me. And again, the only caveat is the mantling in Cold War is fucking terrible. Whereas in MW, the mantling was perfect. I mantled every time I wanted to in MW, and I didn't mantle anytime I didn't want to in MW 100% of the time.
Well, you're dumb too, so.
Except if there was a window. If there was glass, then my elite Spec Ops, Super Soldier, fucking DevGru, SEAL Team 6, Commando Squadron Leader would just like have an aneurysm and he just couldn't jump through the window anymore. Oh, it's glass. I don't understand why that happened in MW. So the mantling, there's the caveat there. But the mantling in Cold War is just terrible. But the movement's fine in both.
Well, it's a Treyarch game. They don't know how to mantle, yeah.
Just for TGD, I'm going to show the tattoo one more time. Now, True King and Miss True King, both of you change it, by the way. You might feel slighted, like, oh, he's going to show it for him, but not me. Correct. Hey, get as good as James, and I'll show you my asshole, right? Hey, get partnered on Twitch, and I'll show you my cock and balls.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So, is this a double standard?
What if the partner's under 18?
So, anyways, well, let's move on. Here's the fucking tattoo. Okay.
It's a forest fire, dude.
A forest.
It is a forest fire of sorts.
Back up a little bit. There. Okay. All right.
That's one of the
Okay.
worst tattoos I've ever seen.
I'll keep that in mind for sure. It's your dog shit. It's fucking Grid Fam, okay? It's an excellent piece of artwork. Let's move on.
I wish I
Next
wasn't a
question
pussy.
here.
Maybe I'd get a tattoo.
Well, you are a pussy. And you
If I hit 1,000 subs, then I'll get a Dropshot tattoo on me.
Dude, 600 more subs or
Yeah.
588 more
Well,
subs.
let me
is
make
what
it
done.
clear. I won't get the tattoo, so don't get scammed into that. So
Well, get scammed, but he also
Yeah.
won't get the tattoo because he lies to our listeners. So,
Yeah.
next question. Thank you, Cambo. By the way, decent question. It was fine. Go Blue Mason, friend of the program. Are there any Cold War weapons that you could see being meta in Warzone once they're added? Well,
I don't think we need to talk about this
I don't
anymore.
think we need to talk about this. We will just say that the MAC-10 is the Cold War meta weapon right now. And I think that's probably about it.
Yeah, the akimbo pistols as well. Stoner's pretty good apparently. 74U is pretty good apparently. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Oh yeah, sorry. Next one here. Just found out my 5-year-old son was playing under my name. This is from Car Mega. Okay.
Okay. Well,
He ruined my stats, so this is called
your
reverse
stats were
boosting, chat.
probably already shit, but
This is called a fabrication to justify reverse boosting. Just found out my 5-year-old son was playing under my name. He ruined my stats. However, an unexpected benefit, unexpected, air quotes. The boy leveled me up because I think he played for like 18 hours. Okay, how is your 5-year-old son totally unsupervised for 18 hours?
what a
Jesus
shit
Christ.
father.
Someone call Child Protective
Yeah, what's
Services, please.
give us your address, please.
Someone call CPS. Oh, my
You're
5-year-old
being
son
called on for
just
sure.
didn't know where he was for 18 hours. So, okay, yikes. Then when I went into a lobby to play, I dominated easily, reverse boosting, by the way.
Yeah.
Any
Drop-
chain feeds in the chat?
the drop child just got banned for that, so watch out.
True. Yeah, true. Well, he also aimbots. I'm assuming skill-based matchmaking has taken a turn to my benefit. What say you guys to just letting him keep leveling me up and fuck stats? Okay.
It's absolutely
Not sure there's much of a question here.
That's
but, Dan,
absolutely
what are
what
your
you
thoughts?
should do. Yeah, use it to your advantage. If Activision bans you, you're going to be banned, right? You're never going to get unbanned. You're going to have to make a new account. So there's a good chance they'll ban you for reverse boosting because you'll see some dumb shit kid for 18 hours having a 0.28 KD, and then they'll see you, an average controller player with a 0.9 KD, and they'll think, oh, he's a god, right? His KD is that much higher, so he's reverse boosting. So you'll get banned, but it's a good thing to do. Yeah, I think you should absolutely reverse boost. Why not? If they have the system in place, abuse it till they do something with it. Just like the bugs in Warzone, abuse them. Tell everybody about them. Then maybe they'll fix them. That's what
Exactly.
That's what J God's done a few times. He's posted videos, and what do you know? The bug gets fixed the next day because
True.
everyone's doing it all of a sudden. So if people
Another
keep
thing we
reverse
should-
boosting, maybe something will change.
Yeah.
Probably won't because Activision is dog shit. But of
course they won't.
There's a decent chance that something may happen with it.
And another thing you should do, which I learned from our friend James here, friend of the program, report everyone, even if you know they're not cheating, because if you don't have an anti-cheat, then I'm going to waste your company's money on paying salaries to investigate reports that are obviously baseless. So just abuse the systems until they've fixed them.
Well,
yeah,
controller
I don't-
players should be reported,
yeah.
especially on
And
Cold War.
If you use a tank, you should be shot.
Well, of course.
In the video game. So anyways, okay, Car Mega, that was a nice anecdote. Let's, on a serious note, Car Mega, parent better. Let's move on. Bala K, 18 hours unsupervised, 5 years old. Yikes. What are your guys' favorite weapons, attachments, perks, and why in Cold War, I'm assuming? I know you have mentioned a few things, but more in depth, like. Okay. Okay, interesting. Tanner, what are your thoughts?
My favorite weapons. I honestly haven't tried enough weapons. The MP5 is godly. The MAC-10 is really good. The Tundra and Pellington are really good. I haven't put too much time into the ARs, honestly. I like the AK-47 a lot, though. And the M4, I think, actually, the XMP, the worst gun in the game. Go fuck yourself if you think otherwise, because it's a terrible
XM4.
gun. XM, whatever. XM, suck me off.
The BIOS.
Yeah. XMP, change your RAM to XMP in the BIOS. This is a reminder for everybody if you have a PC.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The XM4 is dog shit, worst gun in the game. I just haven't tried enough new weapons because I've been trying to max all of them and I haven't played the game as much as I would like. So I haven't messed around with a lot of the weapons, but I don't even know the attachments I like. Usually I use the Task Force barrel for everything, which is the last barrel, because you get damage, you get effective damage range, and what's the other thing you get? Bullet velocity, right?
Velocity, yeah.
Yeah, it comes with shit aim down sight speed, often like minus 20%, so that's not great. So you got to use attachments to offset that. You got to use like a grip with a decent ADS time, but I feel like still nobody knows how to set up their Cold War classes yet. I mean, when you look back and you think of Modern Warfare, it probably took people like 4 months to get solid classes down and realize like, oh, this is the same setup you use for every single gun in the game. And I still don't think we're at that point in Cold War, because most people, other than the content creators, most people don't have like dark matter or anything yet. So most people haven't used most guns. They don't have enough time in them. But Task Force barrel for sure. And then I can tell you one thing. At this point, as of December 19th, 2020, I do not think suppressors are worth running. Suppressors are shit in this game. Nobody runs them. There's really no benefit. So I don't think you should be running suppressors. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to go pee.
Okay. So favorite weapons. My favorite weapon is the Bullfrog. I haven't used it that much, but the strafe speed is just so disgusting on it. I fucking love that gun. But that is subject to change. And then all the LMGs are unambiguously insane, because the LMGs have enough bullet velocity to where my bullets actually hit the person I'm aiming at with my gun in the first-person shooter video game, which is fun. It's fun to like when you're playing a first-person shooter arcade-style video game, that when you point your reticle at an enemy and then you pull the trigger, your bullets do damage. That's really fun for me. So the LMGs all operate in this way. So the LMGs are all very good. The best one is the Stoner. The RPD is also very good, and the M60 is also very good. They're all very good. Stoner is the best one, though. So I would say probably Stoner and Bullfrog are like my favorite weapons right now. Attachments. I kind of disagree with Tanner here. I feel like I've got the attachments pretty much figured out. Task Force barrel. One of the extended mags, fucking whatever, extended fast mags. Maybe not, because that's like a 20% hit to your ADS time. I need to test that a little more, but maybe some kind of magazine attachment. Buffer tube and or no stock for the 30% sprint to fire speed. The flashlight, so that you can see enemies in the first-person shooter game. And then the fifth attachment, this kind of depends on the gun. If you're running an SMG, then you can use a suppressor, because you lose velocity rather than, or excuse me, you lose effective damage range rather than velocity. And I think losing effective damage range on an SMG is actually fine. Losing bullet velocity is unacceptable, so you don't do that. But losing effective damage range is fine. And then also, on LMGs, I think silencers are fine too, because even though you get negative 15% bullet velocity using a suppressor, the LMG base bullet velocity is so fucking high that you can take that bullet velocity hit with the suppressor and you're still going to land your shots. They're still going to register like you would expect them to. So I think if I like logged into the game, I could find like a general fifth attachment that I like typically default to, but it's usually going to be either a sight or a suppressor in my case. Those are my attachments. Perks. Flak jacket, perk greed, flak jacket, tack mask, assassin, quartermaster, ghost, spycraft. Those are my perks. Because perk greed's really disgusting. So those are my thoughts.
Okay.
So
I didn't hear shit, but
I'll keep that in mind for sure.
real quick.
Move on. Okay, yeah.
True King with a 41 biddies and VT Hump with 100 biddies. Thank you, boys. Appreciate that. And girl. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Oh, and the Mac 10 is disgusting. It's overpowered, so don't get used to it. I would honestly, by the way, honestly, sorry. I would not bother leveling up the Mac 10 if you're like worried about not having the meta weapon, because it's going to be nerfed pretty soon. And if it's not, it should be nerfed pretty soon. It's overpowered. It needs to be
Very
nerfed. It's too
overpowered.
strong. So I suspect it's going to be nerfed pretty fucking soon, especially because people in Warzone are like, dude, this thing is so busted. Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to get nerfed in only Warzone or if it'll get nerfed in both, but it needs a nerf in both because it's really OP in Cold War multiplayer as well. So don't level that. It's really fun because it's overpowered, but I think it's going to get tuned down pretty soon. So move on. Proud Dad trademark. Okay. After this latest patch, what do you think the next meta weapon will be? Love the pod. Love the attitude. Keep up the good work. Thank you for the kind words. So after this latest patch, we're going to assume that that means the season 1 patch or whatever the most recent.
Why don't we just pretend like it's the patch
time.
now?
Yeah. So the last patch we just had. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think the next meta weapon will be? Let's say, okay, let's say this. After the Mac 10 gets nerfed, because obviously that's the meta weapon. So after that's nerfed, what do you think the next meta weapon will be, Tanner?
In the entire game, the next meta weapon?
Let's say in Cold War multiplayer and in Warzone.
I feel like everyone's saying it, but I think it's true. The stoner seems really good. It just, in Cold War, it has 0 recoil. I haven't used it in Warzone because I haven't played Warzone and I'm not going to for like 2 weeks because it's a disaster. It just has no recoil. And especially in something like Warzone at range, that's very important to have. And in Cold War, it's just like you shoot it and your recoil essentially goes down. And it kills in like fucking 3 shots, it feels like.
The fire rate is so high for how much damage it does and how little recoil it has. Like, it's so busted.
Yeah.
It's just the fire rate is so insane.
Yeah, so it's an insane gun. So I feel like the stoner is the next big boy up there. That, I mean, currently in Cold War multiplayer, it's for sure the Mac 10. That gun is extremely overpowered. It beats anything up close. They tried to offset it by putting a ton of recoil in the game, but didn't work. Doesn't matter. Even at range, it kills in like 4 or 5 shots. It feels like it's absurd. It's entirely too good. That's currently the meta weapon until it gets patched. If it ever does get patched, we'll see. Yeah. If it does get patched, I'm guessing it'll be like a month from now, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're a ways out, I think.
Yeah. So TGD, the Gaming Definition TV, one word, twitch.tv/the Gaming Definition TV. Go follow him. Go subscribe to him. Go gift subs to his channel. Do this as my Christmas present. Go give him gifted subs, bits, etc. Show support. Friend of the program. Anyways, what was I saying? He said, can confirm the stoner is insane. My thing about the stoner, though, is that, so the Bruin was like the dominant meta weapon in Warzone for quite a while. Here is my opinion on why that was. Because it was an LMG and it had LMG damage range and LMG damage, but it had the 60 round mag so you could reload it really quickly. I think that's the only reason the Bruin was meta. If the Bruin didn't have the 60 round magazine attachment and then you had to reload it for 20 minutes like an asshole like the other LMGs, even before it was nerfed, I don't think it ever would have been meta. Because having to reload for 45 minutes just isn't going to work as it'll still be really good, but it's not going to be top tier because you just can't have a weapon that takes that long to reload. And I think that's the only reason the Bruin was so dominant. Not the only reason, but I think as far as LMGs go, because if you took away the 60 round mag from the Bruin, then the PKM is just better because it has snatch grip. So with the Stoner, I'm sure it's really fucking good in Warzone, but the problem is the reload speed takes forever, and I just don't know how to get around that. I don't know how you can make a Stoner a meta gun, because you're going to have to spend 45 minutes reloading. And also, the 60 round magazine for the Bruin gave you way faster handling speed, and the Stoner doesn't have that option. So I can't see. I'm sure the Stoner is going to be really fucking good. I don't think it's ever going to be the meta weapon, though.
Very good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah. So in Warzone, I think the meta weapon is going to be the Ram. Because they just because they just nerfed the Kilo. They nerfed its damage and its damage range, I think, which we will get into on Wednesday. So the Kilo's not going to be the meta AR as it has been for quite a while. And I think what's going to take its place is the Ram. Because the Ram was competitive with the Kilo before the Kilo nerf. So now that it's been nerfed, I feel like the Ram's just the best AR in Warzone right now. Unless there's a Cold War AR that's better, but I don't know if that's true or not. There hasn't been enough, community kind of experimenting on that topic. And the R9 was also nerfed. So what's the best secondary? The MAC-10. That's going to be nerfed, especially in Warzone, that's for sure. After that happens, what's going to be the meta secondary? Boy. Good question.
Boy.
Good fucking question. I'm thinking maybe a SPAS 12. Probably a SPAS 12. Almost certainly a SPAS 12. Either the SPAS 12 or the new shotgun that we're getting this season that no one has yet. I think one of those two is going to be the meta secondary for Warzone.
I think it's going to be so annoying.
It's going to be both fun and exciting to die to. Fully automatic, faster fire rate than a SPAS 12, which is, unconscionable that they would think to add that to the game. But that's my thoughts there. Anyways, let's move on here.
Okay, cool.
Akimbo Diamandis. Interesting. SPAS 12 is going to be better. So good talk. I'm sure they're very good, but a SPAS 12 is better. I just can't see a SPAS 12 not being better than that. Period. So let's move on.
I don't know. People are loving those right now.
Yeah, but that's because in Warzone, a SPAS 12 is a primary, so you have to take an overkill class to get it. So people are really hard on the Diamandis because they can pick up their ghost class and camp instantly without having to get a second loadout because they can get their Akimbo Diamandis without getting their second loadout.
Well, because they're rats, yeah.
Of course they're rats, yes. But the SPAS 12 is going to be better. Just so people in chat are malding right now. They're mad and balding. They're malding because they think the Diamandis are super good or something. I'm sure they're great. SPAS 12 is better. Hey, how about this? Let's get into a custom game. I'll use a SPAS 12. You use Akimbo Diamandis, and let's see how that goes for you. Okay. It's like you guys haven't ever even seen a SPAS 12 in Cold War. You fucking insane.
Well, half of them don't play Cold War, so.
That's a fair point, and nor should they. So, anyways, let's move on here. C Slade 318 asks an interesting pharmacological question.
The worst question we've ever gotten.
Yeah. Do you find your brain providing more serotonin? Pretty sure that's spelled wrong, by the way. Whilst playing Cold War with the boys than while playing Modern Warfare? If so, why? Nostalgia, gameplay, new feature excitement? What is the reason? Now, before we send this to Tanner, dopamine was the neurotransmitter you were looking for, not serotonin. But let's move on. Tanner, what are your thoughts?
Serotonin is just basically being happy, right? Like excited, happiness. Isn't that what it is?
Serotonin like plays a role in it, but it's dopamine is more so that. So if you do a fat line of cocaine, like
Which
Gabriel
I've never
Saul
done.
Perez doesn't do because he's
course not.
unemployed and doesn't have money to buy it, you get a massive dopamine surge. You don't get a massive serotonin surge. Serotonin plays a role in like feel goodiness, but it's dopamine's the primary one. And that is certainly what he was looking for here. Like when you get a text message, you get a surge of dopamine in your brain. You don't get a surge of serotonin. Or if you do, it is to a way lesser degree than dopamine. Dopamine is what he was looking for. I guarantee it. So anyways, let's go ahead, Tim.
So basically he's asking, have we been like more excited to play Cold War than multiplayer? Like, is it giving us better memories or something? Is that what he's asking?
So this is a needlessly complicated question. Do you like Cold War or MW better?
Exactly. That's okay. That's what I'm just so confused because it could have been just worded differently, but instead he had to do this, right? So I was way more excited for Modern Warfare on launch than I ever was for the launch of this video game. Because as I've said 14,000 times on this podcast, Call of Duty 4 is my favorite game of all time. So I like the Modern Warfare series. I thought Modern Warfare was going to be the perfect game, and it should have been, right? And they ruined it. Like 4 or 5 simple changes, and it would have been the best Call of Duty ever made. So, in terms of like nostalgia, way more nostalgia playing Modern Warfare. Not even close. Cold War gives me absolutely nothing. Cold War just feels like I'm playing a video game that's from like 2014, probably. Gameplay, new feature, excitement. I mean, there's no new features in it. There's nothing new, which I don't really care about. As long as they do
I'm actually glad there's no new features.
yeah, as long as
I swear to God, I'm glad.
As long as they do the old things well, then I would be okay with that. But I don't know. I think I was never as harsh on Modern Warfare as Raz was. I do think though, when this game ends, Modern Warfare multiplayer will have been a much better game than Cold War multiplayer. So that's where I'm at on that. At this point right now, I'm still having a decent amount of fun with Cold War, but I mean, skill-based matchmaking takes almost all of that away. So I think that's really what's ruining modern Call of Duty titles, is skill-based matchmaking. Because it's frustrating always having to play against people that are absolute god kings and never getting to level weapons against an average player or a slightly above average player. So again, if your KD is 1.0 or 1.1 or 1.2, I don't care what you say about skill-based matchmaking. That's being nice. I could go even higher. But I don't care what you say about skill-based matchmaking because it doesn't affect you. So
True. If you're an average player, you won't notice. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. You find your brain providing. Okay. Well, obviously, Cold War. Even if Cold War was a worse game than MW, which is impossible because MW is the worst game that's ever been made, of course, then I would still say Cold War would provide me with more dopamine than MW because it's new. So yeah, new feature, excitement. There are some new features, like the score streak system is new. I don't care about that, but it's just a new game. So there's new maps. I'm leveling guns again. I have Damascus on MW. Unfortunately, I've gotten my nuke on MW, so I don't go for that anymore. Like I've done it all there, so there's nothing new to
yeah.
There's no frontier that has been unexplored in MW. So obviously Cold War. And that, of course, ignores the very obvious fact that MW 2019 is the worst Call of Duty of all time. Easily. Super easily. Which we did, 9 hours of podcasting about how bad that game was? So you guys can go listen to those episodes for our thoughts on that.
Cold War will be 10.
No, it won't. Cold War is unambiguously and easily at least 3 times better than MW, even in its current state. If this game wasn't updated for the next 9 months, I would still enjoy it more than MW. MW is shit. MW is shit. Now, if you include Warzone as a feature of MW, then they become way closer. in terms of my enjoyment. Because I do like Warzone, even though I hate BRs. I don't hate BRs. I just don't like them as much as multiplayer. But if we leave Warzone as its own separate entity, which is what Activision wants us to believe, it's not. But if we were to, then Cold War, of course, is better. So much better. Even though it has so many problems. But I think those problems will... I don't think those problems will be addressed, actually, honestly. I don't think the hit reg is going to get any better ever. Skill-based matchmaking is here to stay, but that's a common variable in both, so that's a wash. And what's my other problem? Well, there's a lot. What was my other problem? There was one other thing on my tongue, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, Cold War is more fun. I enjoy playing Cold War multiplayer more than I do MW multiplayer. Because the hit reg is super fucking annoying.
Well, it's the worst.
But it's only a problem for me for certain guns. Because, like on LMGs, the hit reg is perfectly fine for me. It always works exactly as I intend it to. So I think all of the hit reg problems, or most of them for Cold War, in my experience, are related to the very low bullet velocity in this game. So once I kind of learned that, now that I prioritize bullet velocity, it's not so bad.
Yeah, that is true. It has for sure gotten better.
Yeah. So Cold War is the answer here, of course. And again, let me just say one more time, MW 2019, worst Call of Duty of all time. Easily. So anyways,
yeah,
let's move on here. Next one is from Brutal Smack. And this is confirmed. Tanner insists on singling out females in our community because he's a misogynist and a sexist, and he wants to make women in our space feel as uncomfortable as they possibly can.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So Brutal Smack, so Brutal Smack female asks, how do video games support Brutal? By the way, I'm making fun of Tanner, not you. How do video games support / not support your mental health? Okay. I'm going to treat you even-handedly here. Do you play specific games dependent on your mood? If so, what are they? Are there any games that you must play when you have a bad day? Okay. Tanner, your thoughts.
Well, I'm a man, so I don't ever think about my mental health, right? So I just don't care.
Before Tanner continues, if anyone ever says self-care in the Discord, in this chat, on my Twitter, in my stream, you're instantly banned.
Okay.
Do not ever say the phrase self-care. I fucking hate it. Let's continue. Okay, well, unless you're a partnered streamer, then you get
Thanks for ass.
You get a
yeah. How do they support my mental health? I guess I don't know. They don't. I wouldn't call it mental health. It's just more like when I was at work, when I'm at work all day and then I'm just like annoyed. I'm like, fuck, I just want to go home and like, drink some Woodford Reserve double oaked or something
Tanner
equivalent.
self-medicates.
Well, I'm an alcoholic. Something equivalent and just game. So is there specific game modes or what are they? Or is there something you must play when you have a bad day? No, I mean, if I'm having that bad of a day, I'm definitely not going to hop on and play Call of Duty, right? I mean, maybe like 8 years ago and skill-based matchmaking wasn't a thing. But if I'm having mental health issues, if I get online and play Cold War multiplayer, I'm going to have myself hung an hour later. In game, of course. So, I mean, if your mental health is in the ditches, do not play Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Cold War. I mean, there should be a...
Like an epilepsy warning.
Afterward,
it says warning.
There.
If you're experiencing mental distress, do not play multiplayer.
Exactly. Just if you're down, don't play funny. Call of Duty. Find almost anything else to do. Brutal. I'm sorry, but it doesn't help anything. It makes me so mad.
God, that's so funny.
It makes me just angry. when I play this video game. So it doesn't help anything. If anything, it just makes it much worse. So.
Holy fucking shit! That is so. That is so
Oh my God.
funny.
Could you
dude.
imagine if you had a bad day and then you lost to an invisible player in Warzone? Yeah, you'd end it all. Exactly, Mo. That'd be the final straw. You'd end it all.
Dude. Holy fucking shit! That is. You're like.
Oh my God.
Oh my fucking.
I'm gonna be banned when I wake up tomorrow.
You just put the gun in your mouth. I can't even see him.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm crying. Oh my fucking God, that is so funny, dude. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Okay, sorry, boys. Jesus fucking Christ, that's hilarious. Okay. So how do video games support / not support your mental health? That was hilarious. I think most people who use video games as a supplement to their mental health use it to escape from or avoid whatever the root cause or the root problem is in their life that is causing them to have mental health issues. And if you're using video games that way, which I think most people who use video games to aid their mental health do, then video games are actively harmful for your mental health because you're just using it to avoid your problems rather than work to fix those problems. And people have been doing this since the dawn of civilization. They will have problems, and instead of fixing their problems, they will avoid them by doing fun things that make them forget about their problems, such as booze, heroin, chess, whatever. And video games is just the newest, one of the newest flavors. So I don't think that's like, I don't think video games are unique at all in this respect. It's just some other thing that people can use as a form of escapism. But again, if you're using video games in this way and there were no video games, you would be doing the same thing. It would just be another hobby. So you'd be fucking paintballing or something. I don't know. So I don't think video games can meaningfully support your mental health in a productive way. I could be wrong on that. I don't see it. I think there are some edge cases where, like, if you're like a, you know, a paraplegic or like a quadriplegic or something, then I mean, that's rough. And you can't just, you know, you can't solve, that's a problem that is not solvable. So in that you're not going to just, you know, grow a new spinal cord. So in that way, I think video games would be good for your mental health, because then you would have a way to occupy your time that is enjoyable and fulfilling for you. But most people are not quadriplegics, and therefore they are just avoiding a problem that could otherwise be solved. Do I play specific games depending on my mood? No. I've never even conceived of that question. No, I don't know. No. The way I play a video game is that if I like the video game, it's the only game I play until I move on to the next video game. So when I'm playing SWTOR for those fucking 5 years, the only game I play is SWTOR, and whether I'm happy, sad, mad, whatever, jubilant, I'm gonna play SWTOR. So it wouldn't depend on my mood. But I think that says more about me than about my idiosyncrasies than it does like my video game habits. Are there any games that you must play when you have a bad day? Yeah, no. There's no.
Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. I'm curious if there are people like this.
It's I mean,
oh, I'm really sad today. Today I'm gonna play fucking My Chemical Romance. The fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is more of like maybe a female thing. Like maybe they have a rough day or something, and they think about it more.
You just can't help yourself, dude.
Well, it is. They're way more emotional than men. That's what I'm saying. Of course it is. Of course they're gonna be like that, and the average male isn't.
I think the averages would probably, agree with you on that. I agree. Yeah, but Tanner and I are kind of the types of gamers where we're only playing one game at a time. So it's like, if I'm like balls deep in fucking Skyrim, I'm not just gonna go like boot up The Sims because I had a bad day.
Dude, The Sims 4 is a good game.
It's The Sims. I used to play a lot of The Sims when I was a kid.
Well, we both
really
played
fun.
it 3 months ago, so let's not say when we were kids.
Well, I didn't play it a lot.
I was a
did play it 3
professional
months ago as well.
esports gamer, so.
You were a college level The Sims 4 player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
For sure. So.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tanner? We finish out this page?
Yeah, that sounds about
Okay.
right.
All right.
Well, we got through quite a few tonight.
Yeah, well, I thought we did, but maybe
No, we
not.
didn't. We have
We're at
14
least-
more pages to go. So.
We're at least only 4 weeks behind now.
We're at
That's pretty
least
good.
we're less than a month out. That's fantastic, actually. Yeah.
DKC 1995 asks, what do you guys think of this prestige system?
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. Prestige system, sorry. Please tell me you realize how much of a scam this is. It is just seasonal rank that's made to be seen. That's made to seem right better. I'll just read it verbatim. It is just seasonal rank that's made to be seem like a prestige system. Okay, Tanner, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I got baited super hard. I don't know why they're even calling it a prestige system because it's not. A prestige system, in my opinion, implies that you have to do some sort of a reset. You have to lose something in order. Yeah, you have to sacrifice something in order to gain that rank. And in this game, you don't. It's the same thing. It's just basically all they did was let everyone rank up to a higher level and say, "Oh, this is the new prestige system." So I'm furious about it. There were a few people in the Discord when that first came out. They're like, "No, this sounds dumb to me," and I was like, "No, this sounds cool." It's entirely better than Modern Warfare. Yes, I will say that, but compared to like any other typical prestige system, it's just stupid. Yeah. And I guess could they not do a prestige system because of the cross progression? Is that the reason? Because
I feel like it would be a lot harder.
It'd be a lot harder to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like if you prestige in Cold War, does that mean you can still use like MW guns in Warzone but not Cold War? It would be a real shit show, I think. Yeah, that's a good point actually. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, it is indeed a scam. It is just a seasonal rank that's made to seem like a prestige system. Also, people excited for this whole prestige shop. I don't get it. I mean, why would I care about using a prestige? Why would I care about using a prestige key? Tanner? Yes. Why would I care about using any of those calling cards if I have the nuke calling card, which I don't have yet, but I will have soon? Why would I ever use any of those calling cards? Ever?
True.
I'm not going to equip one.
True.
Why would I ever use any of those old prestige emblems when they don't mean anything besides that I used a prestige key to unlock it?
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything good to get it. I prestiged and I used a prestige key to unlock it. Yeah. So it's a total shit system. It's obvious they were getting ready to put out the same ranking system they had in Modern Warfare, and they had so much negative feedback. They were like, "Oh, fuck. We need to think of something quick." And then some dumb shit kid that's been working at Treyarch for 2 years was like, "Oh, why don't we just raise the levels and we'll call it prestige because we'll change their emblem?" Fuck you. It's shit, and I'm furious about it. That was one of the most fun things about previous Call of Duties was the prestige system. That's what I looked forward to in Black Ops 4, because Black Ops 4 had 60 people playing it on PC. So the only thing I had to look forward to was ranking up through the prestiges. One day hoping to hit level 1000. I never did because I started playing the game too late. I didn't even hit rank or prestige 400. I was like 392 or something. But that's what I was looking forward to. And that's it just has more meaning than this dumb system. Now this system means nothing to me. It pisses me off. We got scammed. We got baited.
Yeah. Yeah, this is literally MDub's ribbon system. Seasonal leveling ribbon system. Just they just called it prestige even though it's not. to placate dumb people into who were mad that there was no prestige system. Like, oh, they brought it back because it's called prestige, but it's not. Like, you can't opt out of it or into it. It just automatically does it for you. And you don't have to reset anything, and it's not a prestige system in any way, shape, or form. In name only, it's a prestige system. It's literally MDub's ribbon system brought back with a higher level cap. It's the exact same thing. Yeah. So it's slightly better than MDub. It's marginally better than MDub, because there aren't 100 ribbon challenges that are cancer. No. Instead, there's only like 12 ribbon challenges that are cancer, I think. But yeah, it's shit. It's not prestige, but you know, I don't know. It is a scam. Exactly, DKC. You're exactly right. It's literally just a bait and switch. So, good question. Yeah. So anyway, Pralamos asks, if you were able to have any question answered by some all-knowing being, what would you ask? Okay, so an interesting philosophical question here. TDS, what are your thoughts?
Mine would be, what is the day of my death?
No way. Really?
I think that'd be the question I would ask.
You'd want to know that?
Well, not really, but I mean, you could change things if you knew that, you know?
True.
You could, I mean, I don't know, you know? If they told me fucking 60 years and I'm like, oh, okay, I have nothing to worry about. I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? I can walk through Compton in the middle of the night.
Okay,
you know, I can walk through downtown LA, New York City, anywhere in the middle of the night, telling everyone to go fuck themselves, and I would know I'd be okay. I may get my ass beat to pulp. I may be in the ICU, intensive care unit, for weeks, but I wouldn't be dead. So I would know that, you know. I mean,
sure.
I mean, I don't know. What else would I ask? I mean, what? I don't know. Let's hear your dumb philosophy shit question answer.
Well, I was thinking about this, and I was like, my first instinct was like, I would want to know, like, what is the true beginning of, like, the universe? That was my first question.
Who cares?
Exactly, because then Mullet Proof Bunk said, who is very, very wealthy, and this is why his brain works this way. He said, my question would be, what are the next 1,000 winning lottery numbers? I changed my answer to this question to that question. That would be my question. What are the next 1,000 winning lottery numbers? And like specific details and provide dates, etc. That would, of course, be it. Because even if I learned the answer to the beginning of the universe, I'm gonna be dead in not 60 years anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, what are you gonna do with that information? What are you gonna do with it? Tell people? Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna be dead.
Nobody cares.
So I would rather ask a more utilitarian. It's not exactly utilitarian, but a more helpful question like that. So then I'd just be fucking dumb rich for the rest of my life. So yes, I changed. Thank you, Mullet. I would steal your question exactly. Because then I'd just be dumb rich. Although 1,000 would be, you would just be thrown in Abu Ghraib if you won 2 lotteries in a row, let alone fucking 10. So I would still want all the numbers. I'd give them to my friends and shit, probably. Oh, yeah. Or I'd just piss on them. Or I would tell Tanner I know what the next winning lottery number is, and I'm not telling you.
Jesus, bro.
What's wrong with you? But yeah, that's a joke, obviously. That is a good answer, though, Mullet. So yeah, I would go with that. Yeah. If it wasn't that, I would say, yeah, like, how did life start? How did life on Earth start? Or not life on Earth. Probably panspermia or something. Let's move on. The Windows Sun 19. We'll cap this evening off with this one. Wondering if you guys are running stim at all in Cold War. With the omission of the sprint out time mechanics from MDub, that's not quite correct, I find myself trying to trigger it for sprint boost. Oh, you mean tac sprint, I think. Okay. Fairly often, and it's quite fucked. That's something that TGD does, and he's the only person I've ever seen use stim just to sprint longer, which is interesting. I'm sure it's a good option, but I'm having some malding issues with it. Interesting question. Tanner, your thoughts?
I think stim is very important. It's one of those things we were on the fence about when this game released. It seems like in the beta, not a whole lot of people thought, was stim in the beta? I think it was.
I think it was just high level, so people like
maybe it wasn't. So nobody was used to running stim. So my immediate initial thought was, oh, okay, it doesn't seem like a stim year.
We tried to not get used to it. I remember
we did. Yeah, we had this conversation. We're like, maybe we just shouldn't run stim because I feel like the stuns are really good in this game. Well, yeah, but stim is just too important to have because at the end of the day, it takes too long to regen health. Especially if you're a camping rat piece of shit, then you don't need stim. But if you play aggressive whatsoever, then I think stim is almost necessary. Because there's so many times where it's like you'll shoot at somebody, you'll get a kill, you duck behind a corner, you regen real quick, you pop back out. If you're not running stim, that's going to go two ways. You have a gunfight with somebody, maybe you kill that one person and there's another one, right? So you're at low health, so you have to hide in the corner, reload, sit there or run away. So if you sit there, you're going to risk that person running up on you and shooting you. If you run away, you're going to risk them shooting you in the back. If you have stim in that position, you're going to get in cover, stim real quick. You can pop right back out in the same exact spot with full health and very well get that kill. So I think at the end of the day, it's just too important. Stun is good. Flash is good in this game, but stim is just, I don't know. Stim in Call of Duty is just king right now, and I don't see why you wouldn't run it, really. I mean, there's not many times where I would think, oh, fuck, I wish I had a stun right there. But there are a lot of times I think, ah, shit, I wish I had a stim. You know, it doesn't, I don't think it goes both ways. You miss a stim much more than you'd miss like a flash or a stun. So
yes. Yeah, so I run stim on every class in Cold War. So I never used stim to like get more tac sprint time in MW, to be honest. I know that it did that. And again, TGD used stim for that purpose. But he also ran specialist, and he always had specialist bonus because he would spawn and just get 9 kills in just one magazine because he's better than all of us. But so I never used it in that way, and it's curious that you ever did. I wouldn't waste a stim for that unless I had my specialist bonus up, or if I was running restock, which I basically never was. So with that said, in Cold War, I think it would be a lot more difficult of a decision if tac mask wasn't so good. So if there was no tac mask, I wouldn't run stim. I would run stun and then just shit on people. Now, since there is tac mask, I would also probably run stun if tac mask was as effective as battle hardened in MW was, which is to say not effective enough. Because then I could stun people, and even if they had tac mask, I could still use that to like kill them. But tac mask in this game is so fucking good that you just laugh at a stun. You're like
exactly.
You're basically not impacted at all. So then if I throw a stun at some dude, I have to just like, okay, well, hopefully he has tac mask, or he doesn't have tac mask. Because if he doesn't, I'll kill him. But if he does, then this is like a waste of my equipment, and I'd just rather have stim at this point. And stim is like pretty much always helpful because you're gonna get damaged no matter what. But so stim is helpful in like every match. Whereas in some matches, if you're running stun or flash, it's not always going to be helpful because most people, or a lot of people in your lobby, most of the time will be running tac mask. So I think just based on the strength of tac mask and the prevalence of it as a result of its strength, that stun is just really not worth running.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get benefit every life from it. Whereas with stim, you basically are. Unless you get aim assist, Pellington headshotted because there's no flinch and there's aim assist on snipers in this game. Then stim isn't going to help you, but stun wouldn't either. So, yeah. Stim, I think, is definitely worth running for sure.
Yeah, I think like Mullet said too, which is obvious. The only reason to like run anything over stim is to run a stun when you're going for your weapon camos, when one of them is to like kill stunned enemies. That's the only reason to use it, I think. Otherwise, you're not ever really gonna miss it, like you would miss a stim shot.
Yes, agreed.
So
Good to go here, TDS.
that's it, right? Is that what you're saying?
That is it. So let me just, I'm going to clean up this document. Okay, good. All right. So,
Gabe's on, by the way, for you.
yeah, he is. Yeah, I messaged him. Okay. So if we could go to the iTunes review section, that is it for the Q&A. And let me remind everyone, the next section of this program is iTunes reviews. Now, if you rate us 5 stars on iTunes, thank you. It helps a lot. And if you write a review to accompany that rating, we will read it live on the program like I'm about to do right now. I would also like to say thank you for all the questions. We had a lot of good questions this evening. And now that we're into the Cold War era, the questions are going to be a lot more salient or relevant to, to our current video game experience. So make sure you guys join the fucking Discord. There's a section in the Discord called Q&A questions. So ask us whatever the fuck you want there, and we will answer it the next time we do a Q&A episode, which is honestly probably going to be next week, because the week following... Oh, no, Tanner won't be here, so it won't be next week. Probably like 3 or 4 weeks from now.
Wait, for what? I'm here next Saturday. It's just not next Wednesday.
I'm an idiot. Whatever. Go join the Discord, ask your questions. But let's get to these iTunes reviews. Go Crazy Jax. Change it. Interesting, funny, relatable, best gamer podcast is the title of this review. Man, I found the Dropshot podcast by Razinon Tanner. Hey, you're reviewing it on the podcast. You don't have to tell us the name of the podcast, right? Or the authors. But okay, that's fine. Right as Cold War came out, a new frog, and their insight on Call of Duty games is, in all caps, next level, dude. True. Their jokes are hilarious. Okay. They talk about real life stuff that can be extremely relatable at times. And I found myself listening to your podcasts every day at work. These dudes are hilarious. The change it joke gets me every time. I stole that from Chris D'Elia, by the way, who's been canceled, so he'll never use it again. So thanks, Chris D'Elia, for being a fucking weirdo. F's in the chat. Not that I'm condoning his behavior. Let's move on. Keep up the great content, y'all. Everyone, go sub to Raz on YouTube, youtube.com/Razinon, so he can stop complaining about monetizing, which is not spelled correctly. LOL. Oh, also, sub to me on YouTube as well, trying to get noticed. Go Crazy Jax on YouTube. That is all one word, GOCRAZYJAX. Sub to our mans. It's free on YouTube. Jax, thank you for the kind words. Brother, I'm glad you've been enjoying it. We love to see the Cold War new frogs becoming a part of our small but vibrant and extremely humble community. And by the way, Jax, patreon.com/thedropshot. Where are you at? Where are you at? $5 a month. You'll get more episodes to listen to at work. For a month, in fact. And the entire back catalog.
1 so far this month.
Well, we're going to do 4, so let's not...
Yeah.
Hey, dude, come on. Come on, I'm trying to help us out. Next one, Kevaru17. Absolutely change that. Fantastic jingle is the title of this review. The hosts do a great job covering Call of Duty content. However, let's be honest here. We really only listen for the jingle.
Okay.
I feel like this is trying to be clever. Okay. And let me tell you, it's a fantastic little ditty. I live for the brief 5 seconds. Okay, this is funny now. I live for the brief 5 seconds after the announcements before they get into the rest of the program where that lovely tune plays. Give the show a listen for yourselves.
Stay frosty, yeah.
Oh, shit. If not for the content, at least for the jingle. This is the jingle.
It's a good jingle.
It is a great jingle. I'm going to keep it a buck. We did source a fantastic jingle, which is a copyright-free YouTube-provided sound
Okay.
that I've put on my Go XLR. But Okay, interesting review, new angle. Thanks, I guess. The jingle's not better than the program, of course, but I appreciate the analytics, you stupid bitch. This next one is from K Renee in Leet Speak. K. Hey, Renee, change it. Dope is the title of this review. You guys help to keep me from driving off a cliff at work in game, of course. I wonder where you work where you're driving near a cliff. Interesting. Keep up the great talks. Okay. It's weird to call these talks. Like this is a fucking, like this is a TEDx fucking.
It's a talking program.
It is there's a lot of talking for sure. Yeah. So, all right. Well, K Renee, thanks, dude. And we got one more. So don't fucking, let's slow your roll there.
I thought it was the last one. I didn't realize.
I can tell. K Renee, thank you for the analytics, brother. And this next one is from EK Life 714. Change it, of course.
Or Orange County boy.
Is that what 714 area code is?
Maybe if you're a 12-year-old boy, hit us up because I'd like to see what a 12-year-old looks like in real life.
Hit up Tanner. Do not hit me up. Don't hit me up, okay? I only want you if you're 17 and you drink coffee.
Okay.
That's a joke, by the way.
Okay.
No Maxwell, obviously. So, great to listen to is the title of this review. Great podcast to listen to. You just said that, so stop it. Makes work fly by, get scammed. Short and sweet. EK Life 714. Thank you. The analytics and the kind words. You stupid bitch. Now, once again, of course, I'll remind you guys, iTunes reviews help a lot. You don't have to write a whole ass review. You can if you have nothing to do. And let's be honest, you guys are listening to a podcast about video game. So of course you have nothing to do. So write us a review. But at the very least, give us that juicy 5-star rating on iTunes. It means a lot. So that is it for the program. Tanner, anything else to add here?
Yeah, let me hit these real quick before you get into the closing remarks, as we'll call them.
Okay. Closing remarks. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Chuatz with another 10 bitties. Aussie with a 1-bit. Biden with a 32-bit. Jada with a 1-bit. Let's fucking go. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. And Aussie, and Jesus, it just keeps going. Aussie with 50 bits. McBango with 100 bits. Jada with 1,000.
No.
Dang with 200. And McBango 250 bits. You guys want to hear it? You guys want to hear the? You guys want to hear the? Let's fucking go, boys and girls. If any of those were girls, I don't think so. If you're girls, hit up twitch.tv/Razinon, slide in his DMs. But
yeah, for sure.
Other than
make sure
that,
you tell us so Tanner can single you out. For sure.
So, yeah, apparently I like singling out females according to Raz. But yeah, thank you guys for the support tonight. 99 subs on the day, a number of bits.
Let's get 100.
Nice little Christmas bonus, as I'll call it.
We're not going to do another podcast unless we get 100 subs for Tanner's channel.
We're never going to do a podcast again. Yeah. So
we'll just I'll just delete the.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, thanks, J-Web got actually scammed. I think he accidentally meant to hit 1, but he hit 7. J-Web with a 7 gifted sub. Let's go, baby. 106 on the day, dude. And 327 in this channel. The support from J-Web is insane. It's absurd. It's uncalled for. He's been working those frontline hero overtime hours. Thank you, J-Web.
He's a pediatrician. Maybe you can hit him up for.
Yeah, J-Web, send me let me see what a 12-year-old boy looks like, because I can't picture a 12-year-old boy. So, J-Web.
I'm going to be demonetized on YouTube. YouTube partnership rip, dude.
Yeah, J-Web, seriously, thank you, dude. I appreciate the support tonight from you and everybody else. So let's finish these closing remarks here.
Yeah. So thank you, boys. That is insane. Thank you, Dr. J-Web. Thank you all for the support this evening. It means a lot. Tanner will be in Zion National Park for the next couple days, so he hosted this evening's edition of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. So Let me remind everyone the best way to support the program, patreon.com/thedropshot. 4 bonus episodes per month. We've been doing a number of Cold War specific Patreon bonus episodes that people have been getting a lot of value out of, and you should get in on that. It's only $5 every 30 fucking days. I mean, let's do the math, dude. What is that? 500 over 30. How many cents? Come on, dude. Come on. You guys can afford that.
Yeah.
You have internet. Pay me. Pay me. Just kidding. But for real, if you have $5 to waste, Patreon's the first place you should do it if you want to support this program. Because you guys get a fuck ton of benefit out of that. More so than like a Twitch sub or anything. But of course, you guys merely listening is more than enough. But that is an option. And you get access to the entire back catalog. You can find us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter. I've said 8 handles 7 times. Doesn't matter. YouTube.com/Razinon. There are video versions of the podcast. Can you hear me, Tanner?
Yeah. Why?
Okay. Because I thought my internet died.
Nah.
If you're working from home like I am, you can transition your podcast listening habits from merely audio to video, which is what I've been doing. I've been listening to all my favorite podcasts on their YouTube channels with video. And it's really cool to do that. It adds a nice little flavor. And sometimes we pull up scientific charts and graphs like we did this evening, in fact, with the advantages and distance relationship for controllers and mice. So youtube.com/Razinon. Go subscribe. It's free. And the video version of the program's there. And you can see my really cute Santa hat and our Christmas decorations.
Let's not call it cute though, right?
Oh, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. But anyways, we have 2 merch stores. You can see links to all of this shit in the show notes. So just go to the episode description and we have links to everything. And you guys should go peruse those things. You can get some fire merch. And yeah, join the fucking Discord. Of course, that is where you'll submit questions for this type of episode, which we will be doing in the future, and much, much more. Find groups of people to play with. We have a lot of people who listen to this program who now have friends online because of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast Discord. I'm looking at a lot of their names right now. I wouldn't single them out. So, for example, I would never say Lemur Party had no friends before joining the Discord, and now she has people to play with. I would never do that. But I could do that. I could do that because there are a lot of people who now have like a group of people to play with. So if you're looking for people to run with, the Discord's a great place. There's good information there, announcements, etc. You're going to want to join it.
There's also a special little special thing happening next weekend with a couple members of the Discord. So we'll get into that next week when the proof is posted.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Mill?
I mean, why did I say Mullet? Ozzy? Pritch?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we'll get into that next week.
Yeah. We'll get into it for sure. We'll absolutely showcase that
once there's
on the
proof.
Program. Yeah. If they're not docking, it's not being shown.
Yeah.
So special thank you to our Damascus patrons, without whom this podcast would be possible, but this helps a lot. Without whom the website wouldn't be possible, and other very exciting features, which we will get into, of course, at another time. Mr. Salmonella, J. Pritch, Slivovitz, Jake Down, Zerosio, Tequila Sirockingbird, Face Esquire, Gift Curse, Adam H., Sniff Hambone, change it, Jimmy M., Von Trapp, Lyle P., Aussie Menace, Vesturge, Godado, Josh V., Papa Shitto, Civ, Blackbeard, Dr. J. Webb, King Big Dick Camper, the best Patreon name we've ever had, Derek R., Wade M., It's the Pickle, That Dirty Clap, Killicam, Pre-Shock, Garrett S., Jada Pinkett Smith, Miss Lemur Party, Freeze, The Dave Daily, Young Evan, a.k.a. Rita Book, Deacon Cheese, Brandon L., Rizzle Music, Sean B., Manny Marr, DKC95, friend of the program, and thank you again for your question this evening, DK. Samuel, Cope Cowboy, Notoriety, at twitch.tv/ttv_notoriety. Change that notoriety. We've been into this. Thomas L, Blake C, Lavana Fair, which I always love saying. It just rolls off the tongue. Lavana Fair, don't change it. And I think I've commented on that before. The 332nd, Brian P, Jaron G, Maxi, TTV Trump MAGA 20, Throttle Out, Dirty Nate, Mick Bango, M60 Slut, Hank Swift, Adam M, Flex Stepdad, Rye Mike, Big Rec 44, Chad G, Nick Venomous, change it, Sweaty Aim Assist, Stephen S, and an extra special thank you to our one and only Obsidian Dark Aether patron, the Dropshot Patriarch, the Vaping Viking.
Dark matter, but yeah.
We'll keep that in mind for sure. We're going to do some gameplay over at twitch.tv/Razinon after this program. But for those of you who are here live, thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support tonight on a very serious note. It means a lot. It is very nice to see the festivities and the Christmas spirit and generosity flowing toward Tanner, who does have fewer subs than I do, but he's got a good number now.
That's a large number. 415 is a large number for sure.
It's a thick number. So thank you all for that. The support is fucking insane. And it means a lot, and we will get more into how much precisely that means soon. So have an excellent evening, young kings, young queens. And as always, please remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe because in addition to full episodes like this, we've also got clips from the show, as well as gameplay breakdowns and more on the channel. The show is streamed live on twitch.tv/Razinon every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So give us a follow over there, make sure to turn on notifications, and you can chat with us live during the podcast. And of course, we are available wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for the Dropshot on your favorite podcast app and make sure to give us a follow. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. And as always, remember, stay humble.